The sky above Earth was calm. Children played in the streets. Farmers worked in the fields. Scientists studied the stars. No one on Earth could see the danger that was coming. But high above, beyond the clouds and space stations, something dark moved through the stars. It was a massive fleet. Ships from the Zorathan Empire. Cold, silent, and powerful. Each warship was the size of a city. Black metal hulls, thousands of weapons, and red glowing engines. They floated like shadows near Earth's orbit. Inside the lead ship, Commander Vrelk of the Empire stood with his hands behind his back. His yellow eyes watched the blue planet in front of him. He turned to his science officer. "Begin the scan," he said. The Zorathan officer pressed several glowing buttons. Bright alien symbols flashed across the ship's dark screen. They were searching for weapons, for defenses, for anything that could fight back. After a few seconds, the results came in. No orbital defense platforms, the officer said. No planetary shields. No visible weapon systems. Commander Vrelk raised one brow. No fleet? Only a few old satellites. No warships in orbit, no space docks. Vrelk smiled. "Then this planet is as weak as they say." Another officer added, "They have ground vehicles, missiles maybe, but no sign of true planetary weapons. Nothing that could stop even one of our ships." The commander laughed. "So Earth is just a noisy, weak world pretending to be strong." He walked toward the large viewing window and looked down at Earth. "So many warnings," he said. "So many stories about humans. But I see only dust and dirt." He turned back to his crew. Prepare the invasion. But far below, deep beneath Earth's surface, someone else was listening. In a cold, hidden bunker under the Rocky Mountains, a woman in a gray military uniform stood before a silent computer. Her name was Colonel Sarah Vale. Her face was calm, but her eyes were sharp. She had been watching the skies for years. She saw the Zorathan fleet enter the solar system 3 days ago. She watched their scans. She saw them laugh. And now she pressed one key. "Protocol Ignis," she said quietly. "Standby mode." Across the world, in secret. Places forgotten even by Earth's own people. Machines woke up. Massive vaults. Buried war factories. Orbital stealth satellites. Each one lit up with silent blue light. And waited. Sarah picked up a black phone and spoke just one word. "Ready." Meanwhile, the Galactic News Network buzzed with reports. Zorathan Empire. Sends fleet to Earth. Empire leader says, "No need to fear." Primitive planet-human response. Still silent aliens across the galaxy watched and waited. Some were curious. Some were afraid. Some remembered Earth's history. But most laughed. "They're just humans," one alien trader said. "Emotional, loud, weak." But an old ambassador in the crowd whispered, "You shouldn't wake sleeping." Giants. Back in orbit, Commander Vrelk finished his speech to his soldiers. "You will land in 10 minutes, he said. "You will take this planet without a fight. Show no fear. The humans have no true power." His officers cheered. But then something strange happened. One of the Zorathan scanners beeped. The screen flashed red. "Commander," the tech officer said, I just lost signal from our recon drone over the Southern Ocean." "Malfunction?" "Maybe, but now I'm losing others too. One in Africa, one over Asia." Vrelk frowned. "No weapons, yet we are losing drones?" The lights in the ship dimmed for a second, then came back, and on Earth, deep in a canyon, a camera rotated. It wasn't made by any known nation. It wasn't even listed in any modern file. But it blinked. It focused. And it sent one silent signal upward. "Enemy confirmed. Do not fire yet." Back inside Earth's hidden base, Colonel Vale sat down. Her assistant asked, "Should we activate the vaults now?" Sarah shook her head. "Not yet. Let them feel safe. Let them think we're weak. Then we'll show them. She looked at the image on her screen. Commander Vrelk, proud and laughing. She whispered. 5 minutes will be enough. Asterisk the declaration Commander Vrelk stood tall on. The bridge of his flagship. The blue earth below looked peaceful. Too peaceful. All units prepare landing protocols, he ordered. Let us take this planet without delay. But before any ship could move, a soft beep echoed through the command deck. Incoming message. The comms officer said, "From Earth." Vrelk's eyes narrowed. From who? It's strange. No name, no face. Just a single video file. Play it. The screen blinked on dot. A quiet room appeared. Plain walls. No flags. No weapons. Just a single human sitting at a table. An older man, calm, wearing a dark suit. He looked into the camera and said in a soft voice, "We suggest you leave now." That was it. The screen went black. Silence followed. Then laughter. Commander Vrelk burst out laughing. His officers joined him. "Is that it?" he roared. "A single old man? No threats? No army? Just a suggestion? Maybe they truly believe we'll leave," an officer chuckled. "They must be fools." But not everyone was laughing. In the control chamber beneath Earth, Colonel Sarah Vale stood still, watching the message being received by the alien ship. Her assistant asked, "Why such a simple message?" Sarah gave a cold smile. "Because that's the scariest kind of warning." Back in orbit, Vrelk turned to his fleet. "All ships, prepare for invasion. Begin countdown. 10 minutes. The ships moved into position. Below them, cities sparkled. Oceans glimmered. Still no sign of defense. A small squad of Empire destroyers broke formation and began descent into Earth's upper atmosphere. Clouds parted as they approached a green valley below. But as they crossed a certain line, just a simple mountain ridge, their screens glitched. One pilot tapped his console. "Commander, we are receiving strange interference." Then, with no sound, the ships disappeared. Not crashed, not exploded. Just gone. On the Zorathan command ship, warning lights flashed. "Commander!" a voice yelled. "We've lost 5. Destroyers. No distress signal, no debris." "Impossible," Vrelk snapped. "Check again." We checked. They entered Earth's airspace. Then nothing. Vrelk's sharp fingers tapped the console in anger. "Send another wave. Larger. Group. Track them from orbit." But when the second group descended, they vanished too. 8 ships. On. No flame. No smoke. Just silence. "Now I'm not laughing." Vrelk muttered. In a deep Earth vault beneath Antarctica, a long-forgotten system hummed to life. Inside a frozen chamber, 3 black pyramids began to glow blue. The room was older than any modern city. Voice whispered from the air itself. Phase 1 complete. Passive cloak successful. And from the ice itself, a massive shape moved. Hidden. Watching. Meanwhile, news spread fast across the galaxy. Alien networks reported. Earth issues silent warning. Empire ships missing. Zorathan fleet meets strange resistance. Earth still silent on a faraway moon. An old retired warrior, half robot, shook his head slowly. He turned to the camera. "I've seen that look before," he said. "That calm, that quiet. That's the kind of silence right before a storm that tears the sky." Back in orbit, Vrelk stood before his council of captains. "We will take this planet," he growled, "even if we must burn it to ash." He raised his hand. "Launch all ground troops. Ready the planetary strike weapons." Then came another beep. Incoming signal from Earth. The screen lit up again. This time, a human woman appeared. Young, quiet, calm eyes. No fear. She looked directly at Vrelk. We are still asking nicely. Then the screen shut off again. Vrelk crushed his comms panel with one hand, but inside Earth's hidden vaults, massive machines began to rise from the darkness. Black towers, rotating cannons. Things not seen since the last true war of Earth. Satellites. Above changed their positions. Not visible to the Empire. Not yet dot and beneath the oceans. Something ancient began to stir. Asterisk. A mistake the Zorathan Empire made its move. They had ignored the warnings. They had laughed at Earth's silence. Now, they were ready to take control. Drop the first wave, Commander Vrelk ordered. Target a low defense area. Somewhere. Rural. His officers nodded. A fleet of 10 small landing crafts broke from the main ship. Sleek, black, and fast, they rushed down toward Earth. Their destination. A quiet, green region of the Pacific Northwest. Forests, lakes, mountains, no. Military base. No sign of weapons. Easy win, one soldier said. Strapping in, he didn't know he was wrong. The ships descended fast through the clouds, past the birds. Above tall trees, they hovered above a wide forest clearing. The engines hummed. The ships opened their hatches. Zorathan soldiers in dark armor jumped out with confidence. No gunfire, no resistance. Just silence. And birdsong. They began walking. One soldier stepped over a stream. Another scanned the trees. The third found an old wooden cabin. Primitive, one said. Then their radios. Crackled. KKZZH. ZZHKK. Warning. Return. ZZH static. The message was cut short. Then one of the soldiers stopped. He pointed to a nearby hill. Was that a camera? A small black dot flashed for 1 second, then vanished. The soldiers looked around. The forest was still. Too still. Then came a sound. Not a shout. Not a shot. It was a low vibration. From the ground. What is that? The squad leader asked. The trees began to shake, not from wind, but from something underground. Suddenly, the cabin exploded not in fire, but in movement. Its floor cracked open, revealing metal. Old metal. Ancient tech. From beneath it, a giant black barrel slowly rose. It locked onto the squad. Without a sound, before anyone could move, everything turned white. In orbit, alarms blared. Commander, cried the comms officer. We've lost all contact with Drop Team 1. No video? No audio? Nothing. Their location beacon stopped. It didn't shut off. It was erased. Vrelk's sharp claws tapped nervously. Send drones. No. 10 stealth drones zipped down to the location. Each carried cameras. Each scanned for heat, life, weapons. They saw nothing. No bodies. No blood. Not even footprints. Just a flat patch of melted earth. And a strange black metal plate half buried in the ground. One drone flew closer. It scanned the plate. Strange. Human symbols were etched into it. We asked nicely. Commander Vrelk stood frozen, his face pale, his eyes wide. This isn't a mistake, he whispered. They wanted us to land there. Back on Earth, in a bunker deep under Nevada, Colonel Sarah Vale sat in front of a large screen. Several glowing maps showed Earth in layers, ground, sea, air, and beyond. Beside her, a timer ticked down. 3:42, 3:41, 3:40. Her assistant looked worried. Should we activate the orbital systems? Sarah shook her head. Not yet. Let them panic first. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, things were changing. A broadcast went live from the Galactic News Net. Breaking. Zorathan ground forces vanish in forest landing. Earth refuses to respond. Alien leaders in distant systems watched carefully, whispered to another, "Perhaps Earth isn't silent. Perhaps it's waiting." In the Zorthan fleet, chaos grew. "What do we do?" A captain asked. Vrelk didn't speak. He was staring at a second message, just received on the ship's main screen. It showed a satellite image, taken from far, far above Earth. But it wasn't from any alien source. It was from Earth's own network, and the quality was better than anything the Empire had. In the image, the Zarathan fleet, fully mapped. Every ship, every weak spot, every fuel cell, every commander's quarters, labeled. Then came a human voice, calm, female, emotionless. "We don't miss." The message ended. Vrelk felt something strange in his chest. It was something he hadn't felt in decades. Fear. He turned to his second in command. "Call back all landing squads. Ready full fleet defense." "But sir, we haven't even now." Below, on a dark ocean floor, a huge shape began to rise. Metal plates shifted. Long barrels emerged. A ship, but not one seen in any galactic war. It was shaped like an Earth whale, but it was built of black titanium. Engraved across its surface, TITAN-7. "If Earth falls, we rise." Awakening steel. The ocean was quiet. Waves rolled calmly over the Pacific, hiding what lay far beneath. But deep down, where sunlight never reached, something old, something forgotten, opened its eyes. The sonar pulse echoed across the ocean floor. Boom, boom, boom. 1,000 miles away, a sleepy fishing boat's compass spun wildly. Below them, the water shimmered, then turned dark. The surface shifted as a massive black shape rose slowly, silently, like a mountain waking from a long sleep. In Earth's command bunker, Colonel Sarah Vale stood still. Her eyes never left the screen. The global clock read T-117. "Status on the Vault Titans?" She asked calmly. Her tech officer responded. "Titan 1, Titan 3, and Titan 7 have risen. All fully armed. Stealth mode active." "And the Skygrid? Online? Satellite weapons are tracking the Zarathan fleet." Sarah nodded once. "Initiate final lock." Above Earth, the Zarathan fleet drifted in panic. Commander Vrelk paced the bridge of his ship. He didn't like silence anymore. "Report," he snapped. Still no ground signals. "Our orbiting scouts are disappearing, sir, one by one." "What? Do you mean disappearing? Like the landing squads?" "No explosions, no messages. They vanish. And Earth still says nothing?" A comms officer looked pale. "They just sent one new image." He pressed a button. The screen changed. It showed an ancient steel door in the middle of a desert. It had just opened. Steam poured out. Inside, a single glowing red eye and walls lined with high-tech machinery. At the bottom of the image, one line was written, "Steel never rusts. We just wait." The Empire had made a mistake. They thought Earth had no weapons. They thought Earth was weak. But Earth had only hidden its strength. Until now. Across the planet, from deserts to frozen poles, massive weapons rose from beneath. The ground. A cannon hidden in an inactive volcano twisted open. A railgun burst through the floor of an empty stadium. A swarm of micro-drones activated from inside meteorite fragments. Cities across the globe stayed calm. Civilians were silent. They had trained for this. The galaxy had laughed at Earth's delays in joining the Galactic Council. They didn't know Earth wasn't slow. Earth was preparing. Back in the sea, Titan 7 was now fully awake. Its eye system came online. Target acquired. Hostile fleet. 5-minute protocol authorized. The submarine's hull split open into wings, rising from the water like the arms of a giant. Above, Birds flew away in panic. A faint blue glow hummed through the clouds as satellite networks activated. Not communication satellites, but weapons. Ones built in secret. One's Earth never told anyone about Dot in orbit. The Empire's fleet tried to back away. "We're not ready for this," one officer said. "How can a Tier 2 world hide this much firepower?" Commander Vrelk growled. "Fire! Hit them first." And the Zorathan fleet began to shoot green plasma beams. Ion blasts. Planet-killer missiles. They roared toward Earth, but the sky changed. Earth's. Satellite grid shimmered. Hundreds of small mirrored panels rotated in perfect unison. They bent the plasma beams. They split the missiles. They ate the energy and sent it back. Every shot fired at Earth was returned twice as strong. In the command bunker, Colonel Sarah watched the skies light up. She didn't flinch. "Begin counterstrike," she said. Her voice was calm. Her words were doomed. In space, a single human voice came through all Zorathan channels. Male, confident, not yelling. He simply said, "You had your chance to leave." And then it began. The first blast came from a volcano cannon in South America. It punched straight through a Zorathan cruiser clean. Quiet, efficient. Then the orbital railguns fired. Their projectiles traveled at Mach 30, too fast to see, too fast to stop. One by one, Zorathan ships blinked out. No fireballs. Just silence. And then no signal. The fleet tried to scatter. Too late. Titan 7 surfaced and launched a single missile, one that split into 1,000 shards of light, each one with a brain, each one hunting. 5 Zorathan ships tried to warp out. Only one made it, and that one lost its engines and its name. The rest? No wreckage. No escape pods. No survivors. Just empty space. Back in the galactic core, 1,000 species watched live. Feeds. The screens showed Earth, still spinning blue and calm. But next to it, the mighty Zorathan fleet was gone. Not defeated, not damaged. Erased. And the humans? They never cheered. They didn't celebrate. They just went back to their normal lives. Like nothing happened. Because for Earth, this wasn't war. This was a warning. Asterisk. The 5 minutes 0 o'clock. The first-second Commander Vrelk stared at the black space where his ships used to be. "Where's the fleet?" he shouted. No one answered. His crew was frozen, staring at blank screens. The flagship, Eternal Flame, was now alone. The rest of the Zorathan Empire's Armada 87 warships were gone. Not destroyed. Not retreating. Just gone. 012. The scan. "We're not detecting wreckage," the science officer whispered. "Nothing. Not even heat." "They didn't explode," another said. "They vanished." Impossible. But the sensors didn't lie. There were no escape pods. No debris. No black boxes. Just silence. 039. Earth speaks. A quiet voice came through all Zorathan channels. Human. Calm. Female. No face. No video. Just a voice. "The strike is not personal. It is necessary. This was your choice. You had 5 minutes." The voice vanished. 102. The sky worms in orbit. Hidden human satellites began to glow. Thousands of them. Some small as coins. Others as large as moons. They had been silent for years, pretending to be weather satellites. Or trash. But now they hummed like a heartbeat. Each pointed downward. Each picked its target. 115. The first hit the flagship's left wing, simply disappeared. Not exploded. Erased? Shields? Vrelk yelled. "We have them." But they didn't even activate. Then the right side of the ship began to melt, not from heat, but from information. Streams of data flooded into the ship's core. AI viruses, quantum codes, human-built, human-born. And suddenly, the ship's own weapons turned inward. 204. Earth's power revealed in every major empire across the galaxy. Hidden Earth intel files opened, some over 300 years old. They contained images of Earth's secret defense projects, the Skyveil network, orbital weapons cloaked as stars, the deep-sea titans, mobile AI carriers beneath the oceans, the silent line, orbital black hole projectors, banned even in theory. Most alien leaders had laughed when they heard about them. Now they watched them move. 247. Internal collapse inside the eternal flame. The ship's gravity shifted. Vrelk and his crew were flung sideways. "Sir?" An officer screamed. "There's a breach in the engine room, no." "Wait, the engine room is missing." The walls rippled like water dot. Someone whispered, "Is this magic?" "No," Vrelk said. "It's worse." 312. The last signal only. One Zorathan ship remained in full function. The Crownbreaker, a smaller destroyer. It sent a distress call to the Galactic Council, requesting immediate support. "Earth is not what we thought." They static. The signal cut out. Nothing more. 403. Earth's silence. Earth still hadn't sent ships into space. No fighters. No visible fleet. And yet, the Empire was dying. Because Earth didn't need to fight with soldiers. Earth fought. With silence. With precision. With patience. 436. The whisper as the last Zorathan flagship began to break apart from the inside out. The crew heard a sound. Not screaming. Not gunfire. It was a child's voice. Singing softly. In English. "Twinkle, twinkle, little star." The crew screamed. Then, nothing. 5 o'clock, all quiet. The timer hit 5 minutes. All Zorathan ships were gone. No trace. No survivors. Just Earth. Spinning calmly. In space blue, green, silent. Across the galaxy, leaders held emergency meetings. What is Earth? One asked. No one had an answer. Some said Earth used forbidden weapons. Some said Earth used time tricks. Others whispered a more terrifying idea. Earth never needed weapons. They were the weapon. Back on Earth, Colonel Sarah Vale watched the final. Report. She turned off the screen. Her assistant asked quietly, "Mom, will they come again?" Sarah looked out at the sunrise over the mountains. "Maybe," she said, "but next time. They won't even get 5 minutes." Asterisk echoes in. The void, the galaxy held its breath. Stars still burned. Planets still turned. Trade still moved. But something had changed, something big. The Zorathan Empire, one of the galaxy's oldest powers, was gone. And the last place they were seen was near Earth. Galactic broadcast. Emergency screens across alien worlds. Lit up. Breaking. Zorathan Armada lost. Last known location, Sol system, near Earth. No wreckage found. No survivors. Earth remains silent. The galactic net exploded with theories. Black hole weapons. Quantum erasure. No, it's fake. No planet can do that. But in quiet corners of the galaxy, old beings remembered Earth. And they were not surprised. On a floating trade station, a tall alien merchant poured a drink for a frightened officer. "They didn't even launch ships," the officer whispered. "Not one fighter." The merchant said nothing. "Then how did they win?" The merchant finally spoke. His voice was old and low. "They didn't win. They just allowed the fight to end." In the council halls of Arani's Prime, the Galactic Council held secret meeting. Lights dimmed. Security locked tight. A dozen races sat around the table. All spoke at once. What happened to Zoratha? Earth won't talk. Did they break the ancient laws? Or did we break something worse? A boundary we never saw. Then one old ambassador stood. His skin was like stone. His voice soft like dust. Long ago, he said, when Earth was still new to the stars, we feared them. Not because of their weapons, but because of their restraint. He paused. We watched them bury weapons capable of ending stars, and then walk away from them. Why? Someone asked. The old ambassador replied, because they don't want to rule. They only want peace. But if pushed, they do not stop at war. They end it. Back on Earth, Colonel Sarah Vale stood on a snowy mountain ledge. A satellite passed overhead, blinking once. Behind her, the secret command doors began to close again, sealing away the vaults. She looked out over the clouds. A child beside her pointed to the sky. Will the aliens come back? Sarah knelt beside her and smiled gently. If they do, she said, we'll ask them nicely. On a far moon, deep in the dark, a lone Zorathan escape pod spun silently in space. Inside, one survivor breathed slowly. He was blind now, his memory broken. The only thing he remembered was a sound, a human voice, a soft whisper. This is not revenge, this is correction. Then everything had vanished. On the galactic net, a new rule appears. A message was posted anonymous. It spread fast. It read, unwritten rule number 0, do not provoke Earth, ever. Some thought it was a joke, until 5 more Zorathan colonies went dark. No ships, no signs, no answers. They simply stopped responding. Among the scholars, alien historians updated their scrolls. Earth was now labeled strategic anomaly, death world tier X, diplomatic priority, do not engage without consent. One scholar added a final line, trembling as she typed, Earth doesn't conquer, it simply survives. And survival, in its purest form, is undefeated. Meanwhile, on a quiet Earth radio, a music station played late into the night. No news, no drama, just soft jazz. And a human voice came on, cheerful and warm. Good evening, Earth. Everything's just fine. He paused. If you're watching the stars tonight, wave politely. You never know who's out there. Earth's quiet warning. The stars were still. Weeks had passed since the Zorathan Empire disappeared. No more fleets came. No more threats. No more arrogant messages. The galaxy had gone quiet, but not because of peace, because of fear. A meeting in the Galactic Council. The council hall was full, but no one spoke loudly. Leaders of hundreds of species sat in silence, watching one screen. It showed Earth spinning slowly in the dark. No warships, no fleets, just clouds, oceans, and life. A new chair had been added to the circle, empty. Labeled only with one word, humanity. No one dared to sit in it. They were waiting. Then, without sound, a new signal entered the chamber. Not a call, not a demand, just a presence. A calm voice filled the room. Female, human, simple words. We were once explorers, then settlers, then survivors. We never asked to lead, only to be left alone. But if we are forced to act, we do not do it halfway. This was your warning. There won't be another. On a forgotten moon base, a group of alien miners stopped their work when their terminal blinked. Human ship appeared near orbit, small, unarmed, civilian. The message sent was short. We come in peace. We hope you do too. One miner swallowed hard and whispered, say yes, please, say yes. Across the stars, alien parents told stories in hushed voices. Once there was a race from a blue planet. They smiled kindly and warned softly. But when their children were threatened, they became storms. Children listened wide-eyed. They didn't ask for bedtime stories about heroes anymore. They asked about humans. Among the thinkers, philosophers debated Earth's actions. Was it justice? Was it survival? Was it mercy? One Old Thinker simply said, they gave a warning. The Empire laughed. Now the galaxy listens. Back on Earth, Colonel Sarah Vale stood on a grassy hill near a small school. Children laughed nearby. Birds flew in the sky. The world was normal again. Behind her, a hidden entrance to a vault quietly sealed shut for the last time. Beside her stood an alien ambassador from a small, peaceful planet. He looked nervous. Why didn't you take over the galaxy? He asked. Sarah smiled gently. Because we remember what it feels like to be afraid, and we don't want anyone to feel that, unless they make others feel it first. Final message to the stars. A beacon left Earth that day. One signal. 1. Line. We are not gods. We are not monsters. We are just human. Remember that before you forget again. It was sent not in warning, but in peace. But peace, when sent from Earth, now echoed with weight. And so, the galaxy moved on. Trade returned. Talks resumed. But the stars had changed because now, in every port, in every system, there was a saying, treat others kindly, respect the weak, and never, ever forget the silence of Earth. The end. Asterisk.